Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your technical critic, and just as promised, it is time for my first Game of Thrones review for number one in the series, which is called Winter is Coming. And what the hell is this? Oh my god, I had no idea what was going on through this entire episode. Was this a book series before it was turned into a TV series? Because I feel it was, because watching it there was a lot of stuff that I think was explained in the books that it feels like you're supposed to read. Like, I feel like I was supposed to read something before I watched this so that I knew exactly who the characters were we were dealing with. The beginning, it starts with these people going through this tunnel, coming out of what looks like this gigantic just wall of ice. So like they're coming out of this path, and like there's this hole, and then there's like this like brazier thing that they toss their torches into. I'm like, okay, well I guess you don't need those anymore. And obviously this is something that they do very often. So these are people who are used to doing this, because you don't just set up something there. And then they get killed by like they come across this pattern of dead, of like hands and stuff. They talk about something like wildlings getting killed, and then like they come across like this thing of hands, and then they turn around and it's gone, and then they turn around and it's back. Then suddenly this strange creature with blue eyes comes and like tries to kill them all, and it kills all of them except for one who like takes off running somewhere. And the guy who like takes off running, he ends up in like this southern place, I guess, and then basically I think he like tries to deliver some warning, but they're like, oh, you left your post. Slice his head off, because apparently he broke some law that they're not. I had no idea what was going on. It feels like there's an entire, like there was some kind of summary that was supposed to come before this. I think this may have been a book series, I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like I was supposed to read something before watching this. Like, I'm supposed to recognize who these guys in black are supposed to be, and who Lord Stark is or something like that, who it is who sliced this guy's head off, even though apparently he was reporting that, oh god, what was it, that white something, snow zombies or something like that, that like there were these things that were attacking the, I don't know, I don't know, I have no idea what's going on. You could tell that this is an HBO series because they are not afraid to show tits in this. Like, there are just tits everywhere. Peter Dinklage, God bless him. I told you I'd find out who the little person actor was. Peter Dinklage pops up getting a blowjob, God bless him, and then this is like halfway or something through, or like 40 minutes in, I can't remember, and like his brother's like, okay, yeah, we know, you better hurry up, and like he sends in 4 more girls. It's like, okay, this is good for him. Like I know that they're still introducing characters, but if this is supposed to be high fantasy, I don't see it. I really don't. And the thing is, I can't make a comparison to anything else, because every other fantasy movie or series I've seen, there's a good chance I've read whatever the source material is before. Like, for example, The Lord of the Rings. I've read The Lord of the Rings many times. Let me think. Did I read The Lord of the Rings before I saw the first one? I think I saw the first movie, and then I read. No, wait. I remember now. I read The Hobbit, and then the movies came out, and I ended up getting the book series. And I think I read the book, the first book, and watched the movie at around the same time. And I was reading them as the movies were coming out. Like, I would finish one book. I think I finished Fellowship after the first movie came out, and then I finished Two Towers. I think just before the movie came out, and then I finished Return of the King just before that movie came out, and I reread The Hobbit after the movie, hoping, praying that they were going to release The Hobbit the next year, and then it took 10 years for that to happen. So yeah, I'm just trying to think. In comparison to the first Lord of the Rings movie, which is unfair, but because that was so many years ago, but it really is the only fantasy that I've ever seen without reading any source material. In comparison, they introduced the characters really, really well. Like, in the beginning, they established that, okay, Gandalf, simple. Gandalf, he's a wizard. He's called Gandalf the Grey because he wears gray clothes. Whatever history that he has doesn't implement on that. Bilbo, they went on this adventure in The Hobbit, wink, 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 long time ago. Oh, I guess I can't say I didn't read the source material because I read The Hobbit. But so I knew who those two were. And let's see what else. But like Frodo, like we introduced Frodo as a nephew, we introduced Samwise. We kept the story arc simple. In this, it's like, okay, we're just gonna throw you in. We've got with everything already established. We've got massive houses of great lineage and all these different links linking up, and there's like these a whole bunch of different people, and then there's all these different characters in the world. Like an introduction to this would have been nice, and I think that is what I'm watching. It's just that I don't get anything that's happening, so it makes it really hard for me to like the show. Like, there's this thing about direwolves being the symbol of this house, and I think that that's the way that they're going to hammer it home. Like, okay, every time I see these people with direwolves, I know that they're of this particular house, and every time I see these people with blonde hair, I know that they're of this particular house, and all kinds of other stuff. So I've got to wait and see. One thing I really did like was the opening to this show, the introduction. Oh my God, with the little gear thingies that spin and like all the cities. I'm guessing, just guessing, mind you, that like you see the gigantic wall, and then you see like Winterfell. I think it's Winterfell. Then you see like Winterfell come up and like the tree with the leaves, and then like place where the kings. Oh, what's it called? I'll remember eventually. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to establish, okay, this city goes with this clan or this group of people, and this place is related to these people and ruled by these persons, and like this place is where these people are. And oh my God, that was awesome. And like you see like the rings going around the sun and like all the etchings on it. You know what? I'm pretty sure that there's something there. I just had like there's a meaning or like a foreshadowing to what's going to happen later on in the story. I just don't know what it is yet. So I've got to keep watching the show, and I know it takes like 4 episodes before you become like super invested in a show. Honestly, let me think. The most interesting storylines so far, I don't know. Like, let's see. You've got the wolf. I'm just going to call them the wolf tribe. You've got the wolf tribe up in the north who the king is coming to see. You've got like all the blonde people who are like around the king. And then there's the oh, what is it called? The white-haired people. I don't remember. They're like the king in exile, and quite honestly, I think that looks, because they're like talking about dragons and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I don't see any dragons, but this might be interesting. Although I have to say, the older brother of those two of the white-haired siblings, oh God, he is so creepy. Like I heard this from like I think it's like Leon Thomas on At Midnight when they were talking about Game of Thrones, and he's talking about how how one of these couples was sleeping with his sister, and I'm like, wait, is that the couple that are sleeping together? Because that is super creepy. He's like stripping his sister and like say you have a woman's body. I'm like, wow, that is creepy. And well, of course, there's the thing at the end where where the little kid, his mom tells him not to climb the tower, and he climbs the tower, and he sees two people just hammering it out. And I guess that's a brother and sister that are screwing each other. I don't know all the characters yet. Well, they both have the same color hair, so I think they at least belong to the same clan. Then he like pushes him out. Spoiler alert, he pushes the young kid out the window. Let me think. So, yeah. Yeah, that's about it. It's very strange. I think I'll get over the strangeness eventually, but at this point, the show just seems so very strange. And it does feel like like I needed some kind of introduction to what this world was before I started watching. Otherwise, I have no idea what's going on, which is basically the case. I'm sure I'll pick it up. I just need to watch more episodes. So this has been my technical critique. Strange episode. This is supposed to be high fantasy. I'm sorely disappointed. Uh, I'll see you in the next review. I don't know, man. I don't know. Bye.